It was a secret government program known as Project Destiny.
We're building a weapon that could generate targeted seismic events.
Designed to use earthquakes to attack our enemies.
I'm getting a seismic reading.
It was a perfect, untraceable weapon.
Destiny is a go.
Until something went wrong.
That's an electrical superstorm.
Popping up all over the world.
I'll put this as simply as I can. Everybody on Earth is dead in a year.
The core of the Earth has stopped spinning.
The spinning core protects us from cosmic radiation.
Without it, radiation will create superstorms. Microwaves will literally cook our planet.
How could this have happened?
It was Project Destiny. We killed the planet.
So, how do we fix it?
We can't. The core is the size of Mars. You're talking about jump-starting a planet.
What if we could?
We're here about your legendary ship.
What would it take to get it in 3 months?
$50 billion.
You take a check?
We need you to control the flow of information.
You want me to hack the planet? I'm gonna need Star Trek tapes and Hot Pockets.
You are good. Is there anything you can't do?
Not that I'm aware of.
You're trying to save the world. It's impossible. I came here to save my wife and children. I just hope I'm brave enough to save 3.
I can't wait to get into an untested ship, go to the center of the Earth, and restart its core with 1,000 megatons of nuclear weapons. Then we outrun the biggest shockwave in history.
Hot damn.
San Francisco is in ruins.
The whole West Coast is out.
And it's decaying faster than we thought.
2, 1. We're going in.
Whoever goes into the core is not coming back.
We're losing oxygen.
Breach!
We got a job to do. Let's do it.
Perfect.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Earth, standing there, so beautiful, so perfect, so blue. But underneath the Earth is a big iron ball. That iron ball is the core of the Earth. What if man had to go to the core of the Earth to save the Earth? Aaron Eckert, Hilary Swank, Bruce Greenwood, Stanley Tucci. 4 other people that deserve better. And DJ 4.
Let's not forget Delroy Lindo and Shecky Cario.
Oh yeah, Delroy Lindo, Shecky Cario, Alfred Woodard, and that one guy that you seen in the 3rd season of The Wire. You know, that one white guy. He was in the police scene. You don't remember that? When they brought in, all right, you know what? Never mind.
Oh, one more.
See, I would have just been like starring.
Hold on, one more. D. Hold on, D. One more. And starring alternate universe Edward Furlong.
That's right. Go to the core. Paramount Pictures presents a movie that you've seen before. It takes. What if we took Independence Day and Armageddon, and they made sweet, nasty, drunk love to each other, and this was the bastard baby that fell out. This is it, the core, where we saved the Earth by nuking the living shit out of the core of the Earth. This is the dumbest premise. Yo, really, when I went into this, I wanted to go in this because I knew it was going to be shenanigans. Oh yes, this is going to be a shenanigans podcast, most definitely. But when I went into this, someone was telling me that that the movie was going to be a little bit better than I remembered it. No, for me, I can't speak for Eris and Chris. This movie was a lot worse than I fucking remembered. I didn't know this movie was this bad.
You know, if you had told me Checky Tario, aka the bad guy from Bad Boys, would be underused in this film, I would have laughed at you. Who knew he got underused?
But Checky Tario gets underused in every American movie, though. Come on now.
Except Bad Boys.
Except Bad Boys, except Kiss of the Dragon. He was used quite well in those movies.
Kiss of the Dragon is a French movie. It ain't American.
Yeah, you're right.
Technically, I was say, yeah, technically it isn't. So, yeah, but still.
That's Luke
But
Besson.
Shucky Cario was in this movie. I forgot he was in the movie. I was like, God dang, he is in this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, and they have him in a very stereotypical role as like the foreigner that has a very thick accent. And it's like, damn, that's all y'all can use him for? All right, cool.
Yeah. Yep. So basically what happens is the whole earth starts freaking the fuck out. Certain things happen, like people going to business meetings just drop. Birds fall out of the sky, start attacking people for no fucking reason. And everything's going haywire on the earth. And that's because the core of the earth isn't moving.
Now I'm gonna point something out to y'all folks. In the history of anything, I remember when this movie came out, a lot of people freaked out thinking that could happen. And a lot of scientists like, it's impossible for the core of the earth to stop rotating, so don't worry. It's equivalent to people that actually, I don't know if you guys remember this movie, it was kind of an indie movie a little bit. It was called Sunshine, where the whole premise was the sun stopped working and they had to shoot nukes into the sun to restart it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
what?
Yeah. The sun stopped working and Earth went into like a fucking flash freeze and shit. Like,
okay, that's wrong on two different levels. Number one, if the sun goes out, there is no sun again. That means the sun exploded. And then on top of that, the sun won't explode until, like 100 million years from now?
And even then, it's a low chance that will ever happen anyways.
And even when it does, by then, trust me, when a star is going to explode, the whole solar system around it knows it's going to explode because life that are on those planets that are around that star will start dying because it starts overheating and will start cooking everything on those planets.
Means by then, D,
you will fucking know it before it burns out.
No, but hold on. I actually want to throw in something here. See, my the first thing I saw when the birds started attacking people, I said, "Oh snap! Did I just see the Birds 3?"
Yo, I was thinking like, right there. That's when it hit your boy. That's when you hit your boy Win. You know what? I can make this a movie. It reminds me of that Hitchcock movie, and I can also make it. It'll be about a guy. Stop it. Wait. It's already original. He has a computer business, but he also wants to make sure he makes movies.
Please stop. Please.
I mean, all I'm saying is this.
I don't want to know Nguyen's inspiration for Birdemic. Number two, watching this movie, I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out there to y'all. This was my first time seeing it in a very, very long time. And I could have sworn that this is something that came out in the 90s, but it came out in 2003.
Still, I mean, it was during that late 90s, early 2000s where they were still putting out disaster movies and stuff because, I mean, Armageddon came out 4 years before this and stuff. And
but you got to think about it. This is fucking bold as fuck.
No, but what I mean is I'm talking about in terms of the quality. Like the look
quality is still the same. If you think about it, it's all the same.
No, the quality is amazing.
No. What I'm talking about, I'm just talking about the overall look of this movie. It looks like something that came out of the 90s, even though it came out
because it's still the same shit that came. I mean, even if you look at early 2000 stuff, it's about on par.
No, it ain't. Don't do that.
I ain't talking Spider-Man. I'm not talking Spider-Man. I'm not talking Spider-Man and that shit. Fuck that. That's a different tier of better than this. But I'm just talking about some of the movies that were like lower than Spider-Man that had CGI that was very questionable. Those
Hey Chris, and they were shitty movies though.
Like CJ was about to say, stop lying to us and stop lying to yourself.
No, it ain't lying to myself because I would never
shitty movies though. It'd be different if like look. Here's the thing. Bad quality is bad quality, okay? Even in good movies we get bad CGI, okay? So let's get that out the way. This movie looked bad in 2003, and it looks bad now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I wasn't saying that it's on par with those type of movies that get thrown out there by movie studios. That's why I said it feels just like how it was with Armageddon and Deep Impact and all those fucking movies.
I don't know. Now, I will say this. I don't remember Deep Impact enough, but Armageddon had the excuse of that being in the late 90s.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, too, to show you the fact that these studios really didn't give a shit about these quote-unquote disaster movies, unless you were Roland Emmerich, who at least gave a shit when he did disaster movies, no matter how shitty they are. The Core and Deep Impact and some of these movies that were not Emmerich were very, not that great quality-wise.
And let's just be real, Armageddon ain't that good either.
Oh, no,
Armageddon really not that good. Michael Bay got lucky.
I'll say this, though.
That movie's not good.
What I think Armageddon has over Deep Impact and The Core is that at least it's not dire. There's a happy ending. It wasn't the only thing that happens in Armageddon is, a part of an asteroid hits a city, which, okay, that happens and stuff, and that's it. Deep Impact was just somber as fuck. It's eventually going to get hit.
It was a shittier movie, too, to be honest with you, also. But you know what? No, but here's the thing. Even what you're saying to me about, people can mention to me what's good about Armageddon. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I'm not saying Armageddon is good.
That's the reason why I say that. Shut the fuck up. Don't sit there and try to, no. Stop bullshitting me and just say what you want to say. And what's that, D? I don't want to close my eyes.
That's the only reason why you watch it.
Only reason.
And also Bruce
Willis. That movie was good.
Bruce Willis giving the most, straight face, I'll see you later, I'm going to kill myself to his daughter. And I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be sad. You're not even emotional. Bruce Willis giving the fucking head nod to Ben Affleck to fuck Liv Tyler at the end. You can go ahead and fuck my daughter.
I got a good question. I'm not saying that you can't like her and all that, but when I really look at her as an actress, Liv Tyler. I was watching Lord of the Rings with my wife, and I said, you was a very good actress. She agreed with me. So...
She's okay. She's
Liv Tyler thing.
She's still wispy.
Why is Liv Tyler? Why? I never understood the appeal of putting this heifer in every fucking movie, man. I never understood that shit.
Her and Jennifer Connelly are very interchangeable.
Here's the thing. Jennifer Connelly to me is prettier, so that's subjective. I won't go that far. But here's the thing about Jennifer Connelly. I can't really say she's good either.
That's why I said they're interchangeable. But anyways,
no, you're right. You're right.
That's what made it funny when they both were in the Hulk movies. I was like, oh, it's about the continuation, huh? All right, that's on par. I'm good with it. You changed that Hulk actors, but you really...
Same. It's about the same actress that is hot for 1 minute by Hollywood standards before they scoot her to the back and say, no, do Lifetime.
I don't know. Liv Tyler and Jennifer Connelly are like the light-skinned white chicks of white people. So, that's
wait, what?
I know, that's kind of like a... that's a weird way of me saying that, but they really are kind of...
Whoa, you can't just stoop by that, nigga.
Wow. Actually has a point. You know who else you can throw it to?
Who?
Homegirl from Broken Arrow.
Oh shit!
I don't think she was I would consider her light skin. I think light skin got to be. You have to be a brunette. First off, you got to be a brunette.
She was a brunette in that movie.
She was a brunette.
Light brown. Look. The point is this, Chris. I don't know how you got points for that, but you got some good points. You ain't level up though, man. That's the fucked up part about it. Whatever.
But anyways, this movie though,
hey, go out in the forest and kill a couple more.
This movie though, it's funny. It's like the big people, like you said, it's like the only women in the movie were really just Alfred Woodward and Hilary Swank.
Well, that's it. Now I love because everything is fucked up.
What I loved about Alfred Woodward's about her scene, she got the shot that everybody in the early 2000s wanted when it comes to filming. That the part where the camera rolls up on the table and her emerging from behind the table shot.
poke your head up.
What are we gonna do, gentlemen? How are we gonna get out of this pickle?
No, it has to be like this. No, when you do that shot, it has to be like this. You zoom in on her when she peeks her head over. Command center up top. What's that again?
This is one
you
of
gotta
those
do that. Everybody, it's one of those lines. Everybody wants these lines. These are the lines that everybody wants in these movies. Now, Eris can obtain this. Now, Eris, am I wrong? You want to be this guy? Give me a minute. Just give me 1 minute.
Oh yeah, the heat, like the heat reaction. Not reaction, but that moment in heat. Yeah, you want to be that guy. You want to be the guy. You want to be the guy. You want to be that guy on the computer. You want to be that guy on the computer that's trying to hack the security system. That's trying to open all the doors. That's trying to lock all the doors. That's just trying to get into any type of program. And mind you, when they're acting out that scene, they're not actively typing anything. They are just literally going ham, mashing keys.
You mean like DJ Qualls' character in this movie?
Yeah. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to him. But yeah, they're doing this. Hold on.
Like when you're frantically mashing away at the keyboard and making it look like you're typing into something that fast. No one can type that fast.
Now, here's another one. Here's another one that everybody wants to do. And Chris, you know you want to do this too. You have the headset on, and you turn to the general, you say this, "Sir, this is far from over." Everybody wants to do that.
Oh my God.
You want to be that?
Hold on. You want to be the guy that said this is far from over. You also want to be that guy that says, "Sir, we just lost a satellite."
That's unfortunate, son. Next.
You always want to be the guy that relays news. Sir, the readout says they've only got 4 minutes left. We don't know if we can make contact yet.
Here's the thing. So, as D pointed out, people are passing out, birds are getting fucked up. You know, the scientist, which is Aaron.
I like how you said birds are getting fucked up.
I mean, it's like so no, because Dr. Keyes as Aaron Eckhart's character, and I think was it Dr. Levine. That's Chekikario's character, right? They deduced that people that were passing out and were dying, they had pacemakers or had some sort of pre-existing condition, and that the core stopping caused like an EMP shit that fucked up everybody's like electronic, like on a small level, it fucked up everybody around the world's electronics inside their bodies and stuff.
I get the idea of that, yeah, because all of that is spinning within the Earth. There's an electromagnetic field. Yeah. That's fine, fair enough. But some of this shit just seems like
birds was just like, what?
Because I get that the birds, they kind of navigate off an electrical field too, but I don't think it would have that fucking effect for birds to just go full on birdemic on people. You know what I mean? I don't think it would do that.
I can answer that. That's because the movie script told them to do that.
Hey, Phil. Yeah. What does that say? It says for us to, supposed to speed into that windshield right there. All right, I'll see you later, man. It's been real. See ya.
I mean, and it's just like...
I can see them having... Hold on, I can see them having lunch, like at the Hollywood Cafe. Like, so what are you doing today? They lose me after I fly into a windshield.
Really? I chased the kid down for at least half a block, and they told me they're going to use me again, but they're not. They're just going to put another guy in there.
I mean, all I'm saying is, what had me rolling, though, is the fact that, okay, number one, Stanley Tucci is playing a scientist, but I can't tell because he's fucking Stanley Tucci. He's just playing himself. Every movie that he's in, it's like, even in Transformers...
This is prime Stanley Tucci. When Stanley Tucci leans on that, I've been fucking and drinking all night, and he leans on that, but he also leans on, but was it a man or a woman?
Bro, that's how he was in Transformers.
That mode, bro. That's good Stanley Tucci.
That is dude. That's how he was in Transformers 4, and I was like, so you okay? All right, Stanley, I love you. You're just going all in on this movie. Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Like this movie, he goes all
Stanley
in.
Tucci is one of those. He'll go for it. Stanley Tucci really will go for a role. If the role calls for him to be a little bit, extra, he'll go for it. And he'll play.
And like,
what you found out about here? He's a geologist. A geologist, I think is what we call.
Yeah, he's
geoscientist.
Geoscientist.
Yeah. But he's like super smart and all the rest of that shit. He has books and all the rest of that. Aaron Acker goes to him and said, I think I know what's going on. And he's like, this better be good. And he reads his proposal like, holy shit, are you fucking serious? So what you find out is that God said, fuck the planet Earth. The core of the Earth stopped moving. Thus, it's throwing everything off. Everything. So what do they do to
the best? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I was gonna say the best way that they summed it up was by saying, imagine the Earth being an engine. That engine is just stalled.
So it was like, so what do we do? So what do we do? And I like how this room full of niggas in the military are going like, damn it. So how do we blow it up? Like all of them instantly had that look like they wanted to blow something up in retaliation to the world, to everything stop it. Meanwhile, coming into Earth, it's a spaceship.
If I would say if Cheney was in that room, I was the first one who wanted to blow up the core.
First off, that's Richard Jenkins.
Well, it was during the Bush administration.
This was
Speaking of which,
Richard
I gotta
Jenkins
say this:
that was
the balls on this movie for coming out after 9/11, 2 years after 9/11. That's kind of tough, nigga. Real talk. That is tough to come back after 9/11.
That is not as tough as coming out with a movie
That really
a month after
that really
9/11.
is tough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, to come out with a disaster film right after 9/11 is just
not really. That's
that
not
there was a whole lot of people like. There was already a whole lot of people already saying like, oh man, we don't want that to happen. Like, you don't want to, because people are still like in shock and in fear of that shit happening. And I mean, it is kind of silly. Remember during that time, they was like, people were really like censoring everything that looked like buildings were on fire and shit, man.
Oh yeah, everything either got censored or they had to film it on a whole other side of a major metropolis city. They couldn't show any buildings getting blown up or destroyed. But and I know I'm skipping ahead here, but they were able to show the Golden Gate Bridge getting getting his back broken, Bane style by the ozone layer getting ripped open.
Which that didn't make any sense either, because I don't think that's how that fucking works either.
But that's not bold to me to sit there and come out 2 years after 9/11. Bold would be if it came out a month after 9/11. That's bold. This is just like...
Nigga, you could have put out nothing violent unless it was military based into Hollywood at that time, man. Like a month or two after it had to be a war movie.
Oh, I know that.
Because Americans lost their shit. They lost their security blanket. 9/11 scared the living shit out of white folk. And don't sit here and tell me that it's still not affecting us to this day because of 9/11.
Let's be real, D. I'm at a point now where I'm looking at white folks like they treat us with slavery. Get the fuck over it. Sorry.
Yeah. Get the fuck over it.
Remember 9/11? What about slavery? Fuck you, nigger. And it's like, all right, cool. Fuck
look, nothing. Look, it was a terrorist act. I don't think that happened to black people. What about those 4 black girls that were burned to death in that fucking bomb that happened in Alabama? No, let's do it better. What about when y'all dropped bombs on fucking Tulsa, nigga? No. Fuck that. What about how all those white folk came in the motherfucking ghetto and started beating the living shit out of us all through the goddamn 60s, nigga? Like, yo.
Yeah, I keep it relevant. What about that fucking dude, Eric Garner, got CQC'd to death in fucking New York? All right, cool.
Yo! Get over it, nigga. Get over it, nigga.
Again, sad for everybody that died in 9/11, but it's like, at some point, I'm like,
yeah. But you gotta remember though, it was bold at the time because Hollywood was really not trying to put out movies like that. But here's the funny thing about that: if you see the box office that this shit made, real talk, it probably had to do a lot with why it bombed. It really had to, because there were still people still not trying to watch movies like this, even 2 years after 9/11.
Or maybe the quality just wasn't that great. So.
Oh, look, hey, look, Chris. Look, I know the ugly bitch is ugly, but we got to talk about the mole on her face, okay?
No. But also,
I already know that shit.
But also, and look, I'm not trying to downplay Old Boy, but I also think them advertising the fuck out of DJ Qualls front and center in the promotion of this movie didn't help matters either. So
speaking of which, so like I said, they're trying to figure out a way how to get the whole. Oh yeah. We didn't mention the fucking spaceship having to land in the middle of LA.
Yeah, so in the middle of all this, you know, the birds.
Oh my God, that's CGI.
The birds is all messed up, and everybody's passing out from it and stuff, and then it kind of splinters out into the upper atmosphere, and they're finding out that a lot of planes. They say off camera that basically a lot of planes had to land at airports because their instruments is fucked up. And then somebody mentioned, hey, what about that NASA shuttle that's coming back from one of its missions? And then we cut to Hilary Swank and Bruce Greenwood and the other dude the other black guy that's in there in the shuttle. That doesn't even show. You know what? That would be funny if they used him as part of the crew. But, you know, we only need like 2 black people total in this movie. So, you know, or else it's a black movie.
Oh my God! Really? Yeah. So, but Duffy Rule worked in this one.
Oh yeah, this one with a black movie. Like, anyways, so. They're like, all right, they thought they were supposed to land in Cape Canaveral, and somehow they're in Los Angeles. So they're like, all right, so we're way the fuck off right now. And it was like, yeah, I think the instruments and the atmosphere is fucking it up. So they're like, all right, so I guess we're going to have to land on the highway in L.A. And the guy's like, in L.A. traffic, dog? Nah, that's not going to happen. So where did they land? So where did they land? In the freaking, what the fuck is,
what that, the waterway.
Yeah, the waterway.
I'm about to say they land in that same waterway where the T-1000 jumped from the bridge and started chasing down a young John Connor.
Yep.
Sir, no. It's forever known when CJ and Big Smoke were riding away and they had a big ass truck following them. Thank you very much.
First of all, Smarty Pants. That was emulated from Terminator. To give credit where credit is due, sir.
Oh, really? Because we want to go there, I got one for you. If you want to, I up the ante for you. That's the same spot where Marlon and his dad, where Sean and his dad were fishing and Don't Be a Menace.
That was years later, bro. They land the spaceship there, and they managed to avoid. Not only did they avoid damage to both the ship as well as property damage, but they were able to stop just in front of a construction site.
Well, the wing got fucked up, remember, because it was scraping on the thing and part of it hit the bridge.
Okay, a scrape and part of the top of the wing only got blown off. Dude, you throw on some Bondo and some caulk and it's fine.
First off, I'm an aircraft mechanic, former aircraft mechanic. Nah, that's not going to work. And I say this as somebody that has done some fucking MacGyver shit to get a jet going up in the air. That shit ain't going to work.
CJ, I'm joking, okay? I know your history, bro.
Now, granted though, you might have a point though, because in the core movie logic, that shit probably would have fucking worked. So you know what?
I was just about to say that shit would have worked.
It's like anybody, some fucking New Yorker, anybody got some Bondo? We can get this plane up out of here.
Exactamundo. The defense rests, sir.
I'm just mad as fuck. Eric's just sat there. Man, he sat there like an old uncle with cigarettes mouth. Nigga, just get some Bondo real quick. Go down to the store and get it real. I do it for you.
I have to start thinking in core movie logic. You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Dude, this is the same. Hold on. I was actually thinking the same way that Zimsky was thinking, because the moment after he got punched out by Delroy Lindo's character, he goes, "All right, give me a cigarette." He gets a cigarette and he literally goes into old black man talk where the cigarette is literally hanging off his lip.
Let's set that up though, because before they get to Delroy, right? So they're figuring out, all right, because first off, you know, freaking Hilary Swank's character, she gets honored by the military, like, hey, you know, you did a great job. Your skills of circumnavigating and landing it was great. So we're going to put you on this mission. So she instantly is putting on this mission with Aaron Eckhart and them, and they're trying to figure out who they can go to for this and stuff. And they come across like, all right, well, before we go to the scientists and stuff, who can we go to that can control the internet to make sure people don't realize that we're doing this? Cut to DJ Qualls, who is hacking the internet and just typing shit on his computer. And the FBI is at his fucking door.
Dude,
Okay,
we actually
I like
cut
them.
to like a full, we cut to, hold on, we cut to a full-on deleted scene from Hackers.
Bruh.
This motherfucker is putting magnets to everything.
Putting CDs in microwaves, and I'm like, okay. And Control-Alt-Deleting it apparently deletes shit off the computer.
You know what I always thought, and I know that the magnet thing works better, but I always would think in situations like that, the best thing to do is to, like, you know, fire. But at the same time, hard drives can survive that shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like magnets. Get it out of here.
The best one I saw is one that I don't think will. The best one I ever saw was actually on a fucking episode of Law and Order. They were getting all of this shit out of this pedophile's place, right? All these computers, and next thing you know, he started laughing, and one of the computer guys like, detective, like something's wrong. Like what? Look at the door. Those are magnets, and all the stuff came out of that one room. Everything on these are deleted. I'm like, yo!
Can't find shit if it's deleted, dog.
That nigga was like, yeah, I ain't got shit.
I mean, granted, it's Law and Order, D, so you know they found out something like he had like a super secret hard drive or some stupid shit. Doing that.
It was something basic. They did something where it will take actually about a week and a half, but they did it like in one day. You know what I mean? Like they found, like it was like something like they found like his password thing or something. It was something that you could do it, not in a fucking hour, my nigga. Like, you know, whatever.
But the thing of it is, like, again, I want people to understand. I don't hate DJ Qualls, but I just laugh at like he was that guy for a hot minute. After
the weird nerdy guy, the weird nerdy guy that you try to make work in Hollywood, you know what I mean?
He was good in Road Trip, and it was just like, all right, we're gonna put him in a starring role in The New Guy, and that movie was not that great.
I don't remember shit about The New Guy.
All I know is it was Elijah Dushku was his love interest, and what's his face?
I watched it like 3 times. I don't remember shit about it.
Yeah, Elijah Dushku was his love interest, and what's his face? Undercover brother. Shit.
What? Who? Eddie Griffin?
Eddie Griffin was like the black sidekick dude. Yeah, Eddie Griffin was the black sidekick character for him in that movie.
Yeah, like he didn't go to the school, but he knew some. I forgot. Yeah. God, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, and it's like he did. And I think Hustle and Flow was the one that got everybody. I guess, you know, even though nobody cared, like Hustle and Flow was like, oh, DJ Qualls is in this, and he feels a little out of place, but all right, he's fine.
Yeah. And the other movie that I remember him in was actually speaking of Law and Order, he was actually in the episode of Law and Order. I think that was later. That had to be like in 2015 or something like that. It was a while, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was way after he was getting phone calls. Let's put it that way. And, you know, I will say DJ Qualls had an interesting, decade, to be honest with you. He was
2000s. Them 2000s was pretty good to him.
Hey, they were good to him, man. He carved out a little something out of it, man. I hope he did, man.
He clicked the check mark of actually working with Larry the Cable Guy when he was like the most popping person ever. So, hey, kudos to him.
I mean, he had the benefit of actually having a movie where most people like him don't get movies. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That was Hollywood. Of course, we might, thinking about that, we might visit that because we visited, Bushwhack, and Bushwhack, it was pretty much the same thing. We want to put you in this funny thing and see if you could carry the movie with your shtick or whatever. The problem about DJ Qualls is that his shtick is that he's a nerd, and
I felt that they figured out after The New Guy that, okay, he isn't leading man, so let's fall back on him. Versus,
and that's pretty much what that was. Unlike Daniel Stern, who should have gotten another chance, maybe, but it was the same situation where it's like, all right, we tried. No,
go back to City Slickers 2.
One day talking about it's that one, because it's that and Trippin' that were in the same fucking line. We were trying to.
There was the other bit too that not only does he fall under, like he fell into that same trap that Michael Cera fell into, but Michael Cera just had just a little bit better luck than him.
Oh yes,
I'm saying he had a little bit.
I mean,
actually, I won't even go that far, Eric. Let's just be real. I think Michael Cera has he has way more charisma than DJ Qualls. Mm-hmm. Just to be really honest with you.
Arrested Development and Scott Pilgrim, and then you get all these movies. And the indie movies is where he really kind of took off. So
he's a better actor, and he just got a better personality, and he's more charismatic, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of Michael Cera, but Michael Cera's a hell of a lot better than him.
Hey, when Michael Cera played an asshole version of himself, I laughed. I was like, yep, that's funny.
I think, like I said, I'm not a fan of him, but hey, he got his moments with me. I'll give him that. The last thing I do remember DJ Quarles in, I'm not even bullshitting you. He was in an episode of American Dad, and he played a nerdy guy that beat up this kid in the beginning of an episode, right? And he was like, "Yeah, I take karate, but the only problem is everywhere I go, I get suspended because I use my karate. I don't know what the alphabet is, but I know which one the moon is." And then you didn't see it for the rest of the episode. I was like, "Oh, that's it."
His hacker, he gets captured by him and stuff, and he thinks the FBI got him and stuff. And it turns out they need him to be basically, as he says, hack the planet. Which I'm like, boo, a better fucking movie was better than you saying hack the planet. Fuck you, movie.
How dare you? I told this to Eric. I forgot the movie that Eric mentioned. We was in a chat. And I told him, Eris, don't you dare bring up a shitty movie in an already shit movie. But so I'm just going to let you know, that's another thing that's going to be up with Three Black Geeks. If you mention a better movie in this shitty movie, we will mention that. But if you mention an equally shitty movie in an equally shitty movie, we need to mention that too. So I'll throw that out there.
Hold on, are we putting Hackers in equally shitty movie in a shitty movie?
No, Hackers is a good movie. Is a good movie. How dare you bring up a good movie? Like, yo.
Oh, but like we could put that in the category of how dare you mention a mediocre movie in a shitty movie at that point.
Well, you know what Hackers is kind of mediocre when you look at it. It was just iconic, you know what I mean?
Charming.
You can be, here's the thing I learned about movies, and I try to tell this to people. And it's how I kind of feel with some good black movies. You can be mediocre and still be a classic.
People's,
that's
for
possible.
Example.
What you say?
People's, for example. In the grand scheme, it's mediocre, but I love it.
I wouldn't call it classic though. Like, God, y'all gonna attack me for this. I kind of feel that way about Harlem Nights. It's funny, ain't that good to me though.
Actually, you won't get.
But it's the classic.
This thing, you're not gonna get crucified for that because you didn't call it shitty, so you're fine.
No, I ain't call it shitty. It's not shitty at all.
There are people that call it shitty. There are people that will bold move, Cotton. Let's see what the black.
I don't get black people calling it shitty. I like white people calling it shitty. You're white. You don't understand. Yeah. But if you're black, it's like, yo, who hurt you? Like, yo, what's wrong with you, dog?
If I hear a white person say it, I'm like, well, you know what? I love the movies to death and stuff like that. I'm just gonna joke when I say this. I'm like, well, fuck you, Caddyshack your shit. See what they.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go back on their ass. Harlem Nights is stupid. That's a dumb movie. It's not that really good. Oh, guess what, motherfucker? Porky's is some shit. Fight me, bitch. Fight me.
Oh, they'll sit there and call you all sorts of N-words if you say that shit.
Nah, like nigga meatballs or some shit. How dare you? That was my movie of the summer.
Yeah, you only liked it because of Bill Murray. Fuck everything else.
No, I wanted to be Chris Makepeace. I wanted to be him.
Yeah, sure. You want? Yeah. All right, cool. Bet you.
Yeah. That kid's career was supposed to blow up, and he didn't do nothing after that. I think the second one, something weird with Chris Makepeace. I forgot what happened to him. Yeah. I think he just said, "Nah, man."
But anyway,
I seen enough.
DJ Qual's character will do the job of hacking the planet for, and this is the most early 2000s white guy nerdy shit. I need
Eris to yell extreme for this, but go ahead.
I want hold it. I want all copies of Xena and Hot Pockets.
They help me think.
All right. I'm not going to say extreme for that one. I retract that.
If he said Jolt Cola on top of that, you might have got some extreme.
No, let me finish. Oh, God. I just got a paper cut, and yep, that's Surge Cola. That's not even blood.
Yeah.
Man, look, this motherfucker, when he said that, I was like, oh, and I guess you want a TV playing Girls Gone Wild 24/7, don't you?
Bruh.
Just about everything. Just about everything in that line.
That is
in that line of dialogue. All of what he just said further pushed me to believe seriously, was this movie filmed in the 90s and just got released late?
Well, Xena was
Exactly. I think it
Xena,
did.
technically Xena was.
Look, no. I know Xena was still on TV. I know that, but still, just everything that he was describing.
Hey, granted, if you said Highlander, I would have really.
No. I agree. I agree with Eris. I think this movie was like the script was done in 1997, and they didn't start filming until 2000
Actually,
and they didn't get released until 2003. I'm starting to believe that.
No. I step it up. Here's what I think happened. They filmed this in 1999 and sat on this shit till 2003.
There's that too.
They sat on
the
that
only
shit.
reason why I don't believe that. The only reason why I don't believe that is because DJ Quarles is there. That's the only reason why I don't.
Okay,
believe
you're
that.
right. You are right. Because I think he did American Pie. He did Road Trip right at 2000. So yeah.
I don't think it was that.
He looked a little older in this movie.
Yeah, the only reason why I can't think that is because I didn't see him have too much interaction with the rest of the cast, but I can't say on that one.
But it's like that's.
Oh yeah, he did. I forgot the end of the movie. Fuck, never mind. We can't say that then. All right, right.
He asked for this, and then they cut to like, all right, so who do we go for? And that's when they decide they're going to go to Delroy Lindo's character, who is basically this super scientist who invented unobtainium and an ultrasonic laser that can shoot through the core, and he's also beefing with Stanley Tucci because he took something that made Stanley Tucci famous and not him.
Yep. In other words, he's the old scientist that still believes in science, not the sexy science that gets you money, fame, blow, and all the rest of that.
So you're
no,
saying Bill Nye science to Bill Nye science.
Yeah, this is real science. This is real science. Also, on top of that, just going to be honest with you, when you see Delroy Lindo, you're like, yo, that's a Jamaican that smells like ass, motherfucking cognac, and just sadness. That's a nigga that cries every day that he's in the fucking desert. I'm being honest with you.
He's in the salt lands of California. That's where he's at.
Oh, yeah, the salt land. No, that is Utah. He was in Utah.
Yeah, Utah. The salt lands.
The only nigga, only black man in miles in Utah.
Him and Karl Malone are the only two black people in the state of Utah, sir.
How about him, Karl Malone, and two other niggas on the Jazz are the only black people. Oh look, he's like, wait a minute. There's like 9 black people on the Utah Jazz. Yeah, the rest of them niggas would live out in California. They'll drive to Utah.
Or Nevada, one of the two. But yeah, he goes out there. Now, here's my thing. When I saw unobtainium, so I'm like, my dude, do you have adamantium and vibranium too? Good sir. Hold up, is everybody still there?
I'm still here. I would say, you know what? Probably.
I mean, dude, when I heard unobtainium, I was like, so you're just not giving a shit movie, are you? You're not even trying to be any semblance of real in your movie. All right, cool. All right, you're going with this.
Clever wording on that too. Unobtainium.
Yeah, I think didn't Tucci even ask him? So where's that on the fucking the pyramid table? Yeah, the pyramid table, and he was like, something brand new, mix of this and that, and I was like, so you just made the shit up? Gotcha.
Like, yep, made it up as we went.
This man has a whole bunch of shit that I don't even think now we got. Like, this motherfucker has he has an ultrasonic laser that can cut through mountains, and I'm like, so why doesn't the United States have high-speed trains?
Because of lack of funding and lack of funding.
Well, when he asked when the old general asked him, so how much would it cost to do all this? Well, I mean, you're gonna need $15 billion. I
was like, man, $15 billion, and I can get this done in like maybe 12 years or so, 10, 12 years max.
Well, actually, no. Yeah, you say, will you be done in 3 months?
Can you get it done in 3 months?
Well, that would take about $15 billion. Okay, cool. He just looked at him like, oh, so you just got money like that. All right, cool.
My man said, look, I'll write you a check. And and I'm with Eckhart, man. Like, look, why don't you just use your credit card? At least you get miles. Dude, you're about to spend $15 billion. You know how many miles that gets you?
Bruh. I'm just like, again, the military is throwing, again, I get it because you're in dire straits. I mean, hell, we are just now in a situation even today where we're dealing with a pandemic and the government is throwing money. But this is funny that the military is like, hey, we got 15 billion, give it to them to build this whole ass unobtainium train system to go into the core.
What I really liked is how he
Did
spent
they say
that time
3 months though?
What I really liked is how he spent that time building it. He built it in 3 months. And again, I'm like, so I understand we did testing on small stuff, right? Small stuff was able to be tested. But you didn't think of any worst case scenarios with this spaceship, did you?
Yep.
It's not gonna. I mean, I'm just asking.
But only 3 months. You only had 3 months.
And I'm only just asking that because this isn't somehow gonna circle back on this, is it? I didn't think so. We'll get through this mission, no problem.
You know what, Aaron? Stop me.
Hold on, AKA, how hard could it be? Don't say that in movies.
Look, nigga. Stop bringing up shit that's not going to happen in this movie. This movie is not predictable, okay? Not predictable at all. How dare you, Eris?
Oh, absolutely not predictable. It isn't. I'm just throwing out a what-if scenario for this movie that clearly isn't going to do that.
I mean, granted, we should have saw the jig when Checkatar. Wow, I keep fucking his name up. Chucky Cario.
Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. Shucky Cario.
Shucky Cario is showing Aaron Eckhart pictures of his kids and wife, and I'm like, oh, so you're dead. Gotcha.
Oh God, no, no. Anytime that you show off a picture of your loved ones, and the fact that you said, look, you're trying to save the whole world. I'm just trying to save my wife and kids. That's just 3. I'm just trying to save 3. Like, my job's not as hard as you. You're trying to save the whole world. For the love of God, Cario, will you stop asking to die in this movie?
Do you stop? No, Cario, stop talking about the fucking children, nigga. Damn. We ain't even see them little bastards yet.
Do you find it ironic, though, that, like, between Bruce Greenwood...
I mean, look, I'm sorry. I just cannot take the fact that you decided to show off that Hallmark photo.
Look at me and the kids.
He wasn't even in it. He wasn't even in the picture. He wasn't even in the picture. Like I said, that Hallmark card photo.
Got it from JCPenney. He bought a frame.
Go on the farm. Raise the kids.
No, but you find it funny that basically Bruce Greenwood and Aaron Eckhart are basically fighting for leading man? Because Bruce Greenwood is kind of like, if you said, oh, that's Hilary Swank's love interest, okay, I believe it.
I wouldn't. He's too old.
He didn't look too old in this movie. That's the crazy part. He doesn't.
I mean, yeah, not too old in this movie, but he's like in his 40s, and it will look weird. And let's just be honest, Aaron Eckhart is way more dreamier.
You know what? You always forget, because it's funny with Aaron Eckhart.
You also forget this was 5 years. This is a good 5 years before we hear him screaming, Rachel!
But that's the thing. You know, it's a lot of actors that you forget were in a lot of these movies and stuff before their big role. Like Aaron Eckhart before he became Two-Face. I knew of him, but I just never paid much attention. You know? Like, you saw him in the movie, but you didn't really think about it and stuff. Even old boy from the Olympus Has Fallen trilogy movies and stuff. Like, I forgot that he was in rom-coms before he did 300.
Oh my God. I mean, Gerard Butler went through it, man. He went through everything. He didn't want to do action. He really actually didn't want to do action until 300 came along, bro.
I forgot he did rom-coms until I was on TBS, and I was like, oh, didn't know that.
And he never wanted to do it again after that. After 300.
Let's be real.
He was like, I am done.
I am done. When your diet consisted of just chicken and vegetables, yeah, I'd be sick of the shit too. Come on, like, let's be real.
I think, and the thing, but here's the funny thing about that.
Not ask me to keep up this physique for another movie. Wait, when y'all shooting the sequel? 4 years from now? Yeah, I'm good.
I'm just gonna be in this.
It's funny. One of his biggest successes that weren't an action movie actually was a rom-com with Hilary Swank. That was actually one of his biggest ones, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
and not only that, it was a funny movie too. It was genuinely funny.
Yeah. It's just funny to me just thinking about that. I was like, Aaron Eckhart, yeah, he was that guy and stuff. But like, they finally completed and stuff. Now, D brought up a good point, about where they entered into the core at. You want to repeat what you said, D? Because you said something very interesting about this.
Here's the thing. Well, they had to hurry up because
the timeline was supposed to be a 1 year.
Timeline, yeah, it was supposed to be 1 year, but the Earth is freaking out, and on top of that, the ozone layer opened up, which D has no, that whole scene. Fuck you. That's not how it would work. That is not how the ozone layer actually fucking works. And also, here's the thing. So, Chris, I got a question. When it opened up and burned up half of San Francisco, wouldn't it still be burning because the ozone layer is opened up, or was it over because the script said it was over?
The only thing they did was it burned San Francisco, and I guess the electrical in San Francisco burned out half the West Coast. That's it.
Yeah, the power grid burned out. But here's my thing about that. If the ozone layer opened up like that, you were seeing footage from them getting people out of San Francisco. I'm like, how is that possible? Because if it opened up the way it did, all of San Francisco, the whole Bay Area should be on fire.
The Bay Area looked like basically after 9/11. It was like, so San Francisco just got shot. Oakland's fine, right? All right, cool, I guess. Fine, cool.
But here's my problem about that, though, Chris. So you mean to tell me that it opened up and it's done?
Yeah.
It ain't done. It's not still pouring. No, Chris. It opened up and instantly made everything hot. So wouldn't it still be hot where they're at?
But that's the thing, D. Did you catch how that scene ends where you saw it start to close up after it was done? I laughed my ass off.
I'm sorry it did that?
Yep.
Like that. Yeah, it did that.
Yep. If you watch it when it's going when it's going out towards the water, you can see it starting to close down before the scene transitions to the next scene.
Okay. Because I was supposed to talk about something else.
No,
it was
about, yeah.
Hold on. We were supposed to talk about something else, but this stopped me. But I have to say something right now. Paramount Pictures, fuck you. God! Oh, that's not how fucking science works. Oh, God. I know Neil deGrasse Tyson was shitting literal bricks. And you know it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. It'll be perfection because it would be like a perfect brick, up to whatever. Look, the point is all of that just, oh, God. All right. This is the problem.
But hold up. You mentioned Neil deGrasse Tyson. He made a good point, though, about something because everybody gets on for fucking up movies. What he gets on movies that tout themselves up front as being kind of scientifically accurate, hence why he'll get on something like Gravity or Deep Impact and stuff in terms of how they portray it. He even mentioned he'll never touch the core because the movie never portrayed itself as being scientifically accurate in the first damn place.
Good.
And that makes sense. It makes sense. It's like, that makes sense because you're not portraying yourself as scientifically accurate up front.
So here's the thing. They decide to burrow through the earth through the deepest part of the ocean.
Pacific Ocean.
Which I gotta be honest with you, yes, that makes sense in theory to me. You know what I mean? You go in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, to the trench. I forgot the Mariana.
And they go through the trench and all that, and they go through the crust. They make it down into the mantle and all the rest of it. But here's the problem I had. It doesn't happen until the end of the movie where they come back up to the surface. They basically ride a current of lava that's going up to the surface, going up to the surface as a volcano. Fine, fair enough, they did that. But when I look at that, it's like, why did you do that in the first place? Why did you do that in the first fucking place? Don't say it went too hot because they went down to the core of the goddamn earth.
And also,
I can answer that. Again, why are you questioning what the movie script is telling us?
I mean, but look, there's a script coming outside with a do-rag on. Yeah, you gonna do what I tell you, nigga.
but you're right though. When
No. The script rolls up, right? Like the script rolls up in that flannel shirt, going, "I got the gravitational pull."
Before he says it, but you forgot, guys. Before he says anything, he takes a drag of Newports, then says it.
He wouldn't take. No.
I got it for you. Guys.
No, not a drag. No, first of all, Chris, not a drag on the cigarette. He'll hop on that squeaky beach cruise bicycle after he said it.
Why Why the fuck I see Angie walk out the house? Like, Angie? Yeah, that's right, bitch. And he just get on the bike and just ride.
I mean, but like,
and I had your nigga.
oh yeah,
I was like, oh.
but to also highlight the team and stuff, like, you know, like I said, Delroy Lindo and Tucci, they're arguing back and forth because they don't like each other, but it's kind of like, hey, they respect each other's, you know, intellect and stuff, whatever. So the team, they're going through the training during the montage. Yes, they montage the fuck out of them building this thing and all that stuff, right? So clearly they're a team, but not really a team because they're going through all the little scenarios that the computer makes up and stuff because Dr. Keyes, that's Aaron Eckhart's character, is the one that made these simulations to simulate when they go down the core. So when they finally do it, when they finally go in the core, everything's going fine. And then the
They're
first...
going down. I mean, it was, to give the movie this, the tension that was there, okay, them first going into the Earth, that's where the tension stopped for me. After that, everything else was just stupid. It was like any scientist would have predicted all of the shit that they would have went through in that part of the movie, but whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing of it is, too, it was kind of like they went down in the core, they went through the water and stuff, and then once they got into the core, that's when everything was fine. Then the first hiccup was they hit some black spots. And which
they were like, what's the black spots?
Oh,
it was like, the black spots are nothing.
Empty space. Fuck. So they go through the empty space, and all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, like, okay, I guess we're good. And then come to find out, oh shit, we're about to hit some stalactite. Well, not stalactite. Was it diamonds? Basically?
Diamonds. Those was fucking crystals. Those was No, those weren't diamond. That was crystal. All that was crystal.
Yeah.
And they broke into the mantle. They basically fell. Luckily, the machine was strong enough, but I mean, not the machine, the whole ship was strong enough to get through there, but one of the crystals got stuck inside of the thing, and they couldn't break through it because it couldn't charge up and break it.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about movies, this is where if we were all in the same room watching this, Eris would have leaned over to me and spoken to my ear, D, I think somebody's going to die in this scene. And I go, what? What do you mean it's obvious?
It's really a question of how do they die, because...
No, it was. Like, who's going out first?
I think Bruce Greenwood got it probably no, he didn't get it worse. I would say it was one of those unexpected things where it's like, all right, guys, we got the crystal lodge, we're about to go inside, and then a random fucking sliver of a shard cuts straight into his suit and kills him. And he falls into the lava.
Yeah. And they were all like, no! No, and Aaron Ecker's all being overacted. No!
That one was actually I would say that one was the movie doing him a favor. You were already dead before your body hit the magma. So, yeah.
I know that, but that was just a double. That just felt like a double tap.
Who got the worst? Who got the worst though? Oh, that's very easy. First of all, if I learned anything from Akira, when the inner core of the Earth is giving you the Tetsuo calorie death, where you're getting
get to that, sir. We're about to get to that. Actually, we have to set it up here.
I'm just giving you my guess right now. My nomination of the worst death in that movie definitely goes to
that's why I stopped myself and said, oh, no, that's not the worst death. No, he got a mercy killing. Bruce Greenwood, to me, that was a double tap from nature. It was like, all right, first off, we're going to kill you with the crystal, and then we're going to double tap you into the lava just in case they want to drag you into the ship to revive you. So, no.
And I like how the lava was pouring into this big, it was basically just a big chasm that they were in the middle of the earth that was just full of all these shards and all that shit, and they broke through and they started breaking through the earth again. Meanwhile, on Earth,
Greece.
Nothing's happening on Earth right at this point.
No, Greece. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Somebody thought it'd be cool. One of the cum shots in this movie was the Colosseum electrocuting it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these pop shots were just all right. Look,
pop shots. That's the shitty part about it. It's not even.
They weren't. But I will say this: I will give the Golden Gate Bridge one thing. That's where all the fucking budget went to. I will give it that.
Sorry, let me tell you something. You on that Golden Gate Bridge? Number one, if you fall off the bridge, you're getting boiled to death. So even if you're in your car, you're landing in the water, you're getting boiled. So you're dead. You're fucking dead. You're done. You might
even if, and let's just go with the idea if you hit the water and you survive,
you're boiled.
You're still dead.
You're boiled. That's about it. If you happen to survive it. If.
Oh no, Chris. Remember, look, it's closing up.
Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot it's shade, so it cools down the water. Core logic, of course, obviously.
Core logic, yes, the core logic. That's what you call it.
But again, Chucky Cario does the same shit again where they're trying to synchronize the nukes. He has a picture of his
because what they found
kid.
out is because one of the things that they found out is this, that the nukes will not be enough to start up the whole Earth again. And D said something very seriously. Yeah. Well, that's not how that works, but okay.
They didn't find out until after that, and that's because Stanley Tucci told them afterwards, but we'll get to that, though. They were synchronizing the nukes. This dude got a picture of his wife and kid on the computer screen to the side. I'm like, oh, so you're dead. How do you die, sir? How do you die?
So what Three Black Geeks had done wrong for the last 3 times that we have mentioned the core was D, first it was Chris, and D the last 2 times, we said it was Delroy Lindo that went out this way. No. It was our favorite Frenchman who died that way.
Gravity squeeze.
Got gravity squeeze. And it make it so bad.
You call the gravity squeeze. You can call the gravity squeeze. I can go along with that. I still gotta go with the he got the Tetsuo.
Tetsuo killing Kari inside of him.
Killing Kaori.
That motherfucker got Gravaga from fucking Final Fantasy. That's what he got.
Someone cast he got cast with gravity. Because of course you can't find that shit because of course it's in lava and it blew up. What happened was one of the diamond, they actually hit diamond and it hits one of the holes. They got to get it out, and that's how Shaky Cario got stuck on the very last one.
I forgot Hilary Swank had the distressed look on her face. She's like, I can get through this because, again, Bruce Greenwood is dead. So she has to pilot the ship and stuff. And the movie tries to do this thing of could she be the leader, but they don't really do that very well.
This movie is like, and I think we all can relate. You know when you try to go do porn and you jerk off a little and just go to the next one? It's sort of like that.
It's like they have a good idea.
Let's go to the next one.
Well, it's like it's one of those movies where it's like they were trying to do this thing for her where it's like she could be the leader, but it doesn't work when all the guys actually respect you. You have to have if every guy, even Stanley Tucci, respects you, it doesn't work. You have to have one dude that just says, fuck you, women can't do shit. That's when it works.
You have a vagina. You have a vagina. You can't do nothing.
You can't do that in this movie to make her like, oh, she's a strong woman. I'm like, well, I mean, she's a competent woman. She does her job. No other dude's going to debate that in this movie.
You showed in the third scene in the movie where she landed a plane just using basic-ass math, nigga. Well, all right. Not basic. Trigonometry and calculus, I know. But shut the fuck up. She figured out how to do it on her own.
Even Tucci was kind of like, oh, she can do this. I think the only thing he ever questioned was, well, are you going to let him die? That's about it. But if it was
actually, no, he didn't. Remember when everything was going, when the all this lost moment was happening, where they had to try to get him out, Aaron Ecker was like, "Open the door, I can get him out." And right when she was about to open the door, he was like, "Oh no, because if you do that, you can compromise the entire ship.
Yeah.
Don't do it."
Yeah.
In other words, he guilt troped her.
Well, here's the thing about it. I'm with Stanley Tucci. Don't open that door.
He dead. The Frenchman is dead.
That nigga's dead. And I hate it because Shucky Cario is not really known for his acting. We just like him because his name is funny, and he gives 100% of every movie he's in. So it ain't really like he's blown this away with his acting, but he acted this part. The only thing that didn't make it real for me was he was still talking in English, where I think in a time like that, you go back to your native tongue. He should have been speaking French in that.
There are certain deaths in movies that, like, we always talk about how comedies play up getting crushed by like a steamroller and shit. That is
Yeah.
that is a death in this movie with Chucky Carter when he gets fucking squeezed like that, where I'm like, I would rather you just put a
It's
bullet
the
in my
only
head.
part of the movie you kind of give a shit and feel bad, actually.
And then Aaron Eckhart, on top of that, is giving us white man tears and shit. Like, come on, man.
No. The best acting in that whole scene was Delroy Lindo. I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, no, you're dead. The smart black man can't help you.
Can I laugh? Because Delroy Lindo would do what I did, where I'm like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing.
Oh, he's dead. I don't know why it's like that. I'm a scientist. Yes, I know. I built this big ass fucking laser, but I don't know how to open up a goddamn door. Wow, no. Bullshit. He could open that door. He could have opened that door.
I would have been like, I gotta see electrical engineering. I know shit.
It's like, nigga, how'd you build that fucking laser? I was high, nigga.
I went on Dailymotion. I found the guy that built this.
I was doing a whole lot of lines of cocaine. Next thing I know, I woke up, half of this bitch was done. So,
somehow I wrote a blueprint. That's the only way.
Somehow, there's a whole lot of stickers. Look, but it'd be like he got like halfway through his fucking goal of doing that, but at the same time he was trying to like open up a restaurant, so he also got blueprints for like a little Applebee's he was trying to make or something.
I gotta admit though, if this movie was actually rated R, we actually would have saw his body, like, you know, Chucky Carter would have got squeezed and you would saw blood hit the camera and shit, like, ah.
Nope, all you saw was detached Kobe. That's raw.
Hey, did you love the special effects for when the metal crumples up the way?
Hey, look, shut the fuck up, man. I ain't see graphics that good since the Dancing Baby and motherfucking Blockbuster.
I'm sorry, we're talking about the special effects.
Magical CGI, nigga.
Did you love that wonderful Windows XP background when they got to the core of the...
Mo, the whole fucking time they're going into lava. The lava looks like this bad orange and all. Yo, hey, look, here's my main problem. They're traveling straight up liquid death.
This was on,
and they're living.
This is PlayStation 1 graphics.
No, here's the thing that gets me, Chris. Now, Chris, you will probably know this better. Wouldn't the pressure of the earth is not crushing them? How is that possible?
Well, they said the unobtainium prevents it from crushing them.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I
forgot. Now let's talk about that. Like, I know you probably did, but real talk. Unobtainium is real. Unobtainium has been used in several movies when you want to make up a material that you can't think of. It has mystery power, sort of like how toxic waste will instantly make you strong, or how pumping a man with a liquid like that will give him claws so he can cut people to death.
I'm just laughing.
Like this shit, like unobtainium has been actually used and called unobtainium in several fucking movies.
What
and
you're
that's
saying is that the core and Avatar are in the same universe.
Almost. It's in that same universe of, look guys, I got a D+ in science in high school. Don't tell me to do anything
That's
clever.
what I said. I was waiting for them to sit there and be like, so you got adamantium and vibranium too? Cool, got you.
I mean, that's so funny when he just go for the word unobtainium. That's so stupid. Gundanium had more fucking flame to it. How is it that Gundanium is washing all of these motherfucking other metals that are out in fiction?
I just wild out there. How is it that even Mobile Suit Gundam actually at least applied some real word aesthetics with the metal versus Gundanium?
Yeah, the reason why, see, like I said, that's the one thing that Star Trek does. I mean, the Star Trek does the same thing. You put real science to your bullshit, and it gives the theory that it could happen. Yeah. And that's all science. Let's just be real. Let's just keep it around a buck. Science is nothing but that anyway. It's a bunch of hypotheses.
But my man, oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Because when it becomes truth, it ain't science no more. It's truth. So
it's wild. So he gets crushed, but before that even happens, like he slides all the passcodes and stuff inside there and stuff, and gives him his notebook and be like, I use my notebook to do it. And
don't forget the picture of his his daughter.
So, and the thing of it is too, that's the reason why he got crushed, is because he went back. Well, actually, he went back for the codes and stuff and took it out. And also he went for the picture. I'm like, dude, that 2 seconds that you went for the pictures, you probably would have been able to make that door, but all right, cool.
I mean, it would have been smarter. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can get pictures anytime. I mean, your fucking kids and wife are real life people, so fuck that picture.
I mean, dog, man, ain't you got this shit up on MySpace? It's 2003. It's 2003. That's almost canon.
Live journal.
Yeah, live journal. Ain't you got a Black Planet account, nigga?
I'm the Frenchman. Black Planet.
Noir. Planet Noir.
So when they get there, that's when Tucci is like, yeah, so doing the calculations, he's like, even with all the nukes, we do not have enough to actually detonate it. So, yeah, on the plan B, apparently, again, because the government has so much money and they believe fucking Hotep conspiracy theories, apparently they built this fucking device that creates aftershocks because they thought that the Russians were going to do that to the United States, so they built one underneath fucking, what part of the state did they build it under? Oh, Alaska.
Oh, God, Alaska. Now, here's the funny thing. There are projects like that. Like, good example. There is a good example that there is something going on with the North Pole right now because that's not sanctioned by no nation. There are a lot of armies. The Russians are really mobilizing out there and all the rest of that, and America is too, is because of all the resources that you can find out there. And there's like one aspect like that can affect the weather actually. And the problem about it is them posting up out there is fucking up the weather too. So it's fucking stupid, yeah. I can believe a project like that actually existing. If there's a project out there that have iron rods on a fucking satellite that if you drop them, they can create the same force as a nuke without the fucking fallout, I can believe that there's a seismic machine under the earth.
Yeah,
I can actually.
You know what? That shit was the most G.I. Joe shit ever. So you right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's not that I'm saying that. Like, look, I think a weather dominator. Okay, D being a conspiracy theorist because actually no, because I know that bad weather is. I know bad weather is fucking global warming, but a part of me thinks they got a weather dominator up there.
Real. I think movies have done a good. There are two movies that have done a good job of showing that we do not have the competent people in government to actually do that shit right.
Yeah.
Because if we did have competent people, we probably would have already had a weather dominator, and global warming would be after a fucking thought. But because we don't, we would get shit like fucking what the fuck is that movie with the train that goes around the world? Was it Snowpiercer? Yeah, that shit.
What? Wow, Chris.
Yeah, we probably would be on some Snowpiercer shit. It's like, so let me get this right. Y'all guys could have got all the scientists to build us something that would actually reverse global warming, but y'all decided to spend billions of dollars on a fucking train that goes around the world. You guys are goddamn idiots. But you know what?
That sounds like it is, because every time there's something new that comes along, you know what everybody say? Think of the applications this can have. Oh, you mean how we can kill everybody with this shit?
Yeah, basically, it's always that one terrorist that's like, you know what, this weather dominator is curing global warming, but you know what?
No. When you said hey Chris, when you said that one terrorist, I'm sorry, the United States government. Oh, what?
Yo, we say that, but yeah, it would be somebody inside of our fucking government.
It would be the senator from Kentucky. No, I'm not talking about Mitch McConnell. Even though I'm pretty sure he knew about the Contras having all that blow before they took the money away from him.
Sorry, I feel Dick
Cheney. They were blow for years. They were selling blow for years. We knew about it.
I feel if the weather dominator was real, Dick Cheney would have ended the war in Iraq in one hit, like make it snow in Iraq. Freeze the motherfuckers.
That's the funny thing. The way I have learned, at least to me, what I have known about real life evil is that real life evil is ran by people who are greedy. So it's not that they can't dominate the world, that they can. They can do it anytime they want to. They just won't, because they make more money destroying the planet than giving back to the planet. That's the only reason why I can still float around the theory of there being a Where the Terminator. Now, what do they get out of it? The fuck if I don't know. But Kmart is selling more jackets, so me, I guess.
Apparently, Tucci is on some like I'm trying to get back home for beer o'clock, so let's get the fuck back home.
Yo, that nigga was like, "Let's go the fuck home."
It's like I'm trying to watch Sex in the City. Kiss my ass, we're going home,
bruh. I got a whole pair of look, my wife sat down, look, my girl sat down. She just bought all the, you know that little thing called DVDs? Yeah. I got season 1 of The Highlander. Yeah, it cost me $90. This shit is not going to be available any other time, in any other format for free.
Bro, that's how that is how his attitude was. It was like, okay, so we can't do
dude, no. You know what it was? Let's keep it in 2003, Chris. Look, guys, I got to be honest with you. I downloaded the new Usher album on Kazaa. It should be done by now. So I want to go home.
Sure you don't got viruses on that computer there, bucko?
Fuck you. Speaking of which, there was a line.
First of all, to get a virus on there, he would have had to download it from LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire was like fucking a hooker with no condom. If you make it out with nothing, good for you.
I mean, Kazaa was no better. It's just the difference is Kazaa will be the equivalent.
I think Kazaa made it obvious because the seeds will be low for that one thing. So
Kazaa will be like if you accidentally, for some reason, the condom broke and you didn't know it until it was too late. And it's like, shit. Kazaa,
you be running around having a good old time. All of a sudden, you can't open up no files on your computer.
It's like, what the hell happened? It was just working 2 minutes ago. Well,
hold on. Hey, Chris. I don't know how y'all sounded, but this sound like in Dwayne's house. D! The hell's on the computer?
D downloaded chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water. That's what happened.
Yeah. But here's my dad. Download all them pornos. I know you be watching them. Dad, it ain't none of that shit. I downloaded that new Charlie Wilson you wanted. Now the computer don't fucking work.
It's like, son, stop blaming Charlie Wilson.
Because you want to listen to old man R&B and shit, nigga. The Gap Band wasn't that good, Daddy.
bro. But that's how, Tucci was so nonchalant. Like, if I get back home, I can make the bar.
Go home. And it was like, so let me get this straight. So they were going to send the shockwave down to the earth, pretty much trying to wake the earth back up.
Yeah, it was
jump started. But in doing that, it will kill the whole crew.
It was speeding up, actually.
Yeah. So Stan Tucci's like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. But if it don't work, the earth is doomed. So I got to be honest with you, and I'm kind of with Tucci. We damned if we do, we damned if we don't.
Yeah, but you can't say that with like 3 people that are clearly optimistic as fuck, and they're like, "Fuck you, that shit ain't gonna work. We're gonna launch these goddamn nukes." So you can't do that.
Exactly. So
Delroy punches his ass out like on some like, "Yo, fuck you, bam."
So they finally come up with the idea that they have to set off bombs at different parts of the core and blow it up simultaneously. Blowing them up at a certain thing will actually jumpstart. It will work like, throwing pawns. Look, it's stupid. It'll just work. Shut the fuck up. It'll just work. Chain reaction.
But the caveat to this is that the downside is for them to unleash release all the nukes in succession on each individual part of that vehicle that they're in. They have to unlock it, and the only way to do that, they got to go all the way to the back of the fucking vehicle to unlock the manual override. The downside is it's hot as fuck back there if they do that, and somebody's gonna have to do that, and they're gonna die. And who ends up doing it?
9,000 degrees of pure microwave heat.
Bro.
Let me just.
You're probably gonna say it.
Let me just say. All right, who wants to go? All right, who wants to do the third part of Act 4 from Metal Gear Solid 4 on this?
First off, Metal Gear Solid lied to our ass because Delroy Lindo, his suit was fucking done. I'm like, dude, how is your feet not burning?
No. See, first of all, Metal Gear didn't lie to us. The movie told us straight up that that suit that Delroy was wearing was only strong enough to hold up to, what was it? That was 9,000 degrees of heat.
Up to 1,000.
That suit can only hold, not even 1,000. It said half that, barely half that.
Yeah, I mean, and
so
like,
the fact that it was able to survive for as long as he was able to, that's just movie magic.
Nigga, how did his feet not burn off?
Dog.
How did his feet not burn?
They actually showed it because he was walking. You saw his feet melting, but the whole time I'm over there like,
I gotta be real. I don't even think Snake walked that fucking long down that shit compared to Delroy Lindo.
No, first of all, Snake's walk was much longer than this.
I couldn't tell because of this movie,
because
in this movie, Delroy Lindo, I'm like, dude, that shit couldn't be that fucking long. Meanwhile, Snake is like, I'm tapping circle, and it's like, well, Snake is getting up there. He's getting there.
But for every step that Snake took, you saw that his suit was falling apart. And then his solid, I'm amazed that the solid eye lasted like right up until the end when that exploded.
Only difference is Delroy Lindo didn't have a liquid snake awaiting him at the end of the tunnel.
Delroy Lindo was too busy sweating like fucking Patrick Ewing in that damn thing. In that damn suit, man.
Imagine Patrick Stewart, a fucking bubble of Patrick Stewart be like, who told you to unlock that thing? I didn't touch you, dude.
Who told you? I ain't told you open it. Bubba, who wanna rock with Patrick?
So he unlocks it. And he does that. And I like how Aaron is like, well, come on, we can get him out. And I'm like, dog, what makes you think your ass is going to get his ass out of that shit? And I like how Delroy was like, nah, dude, I'm dead. Like, I'm not going to make it back to that floor.
Nigga. Hey, yo, I'm like, yo, Aaron, this ain't running outside with no shirt on when it's 30 degrees, bro. Don't do that. This ain't the same. This is not the same.
How can you possibly make your way? Like, even if you tried to pull him back through the door, what could you throw? No. Not only will you burn, what could possibly withstand 9,000 degrees of pure heat?
Exactly.
No rope on Earth, inside or outside of Earth, was going to withstand that.
Not even his white guy optimism was going to cut through that shit.
I mean, yo,
there's two things.
White guy optimism.
There was two things in this movie that I did want to point out. By the way, first of all, I love Eckhart's white guy optimism in a 2003 movie, but it pales in comparison to Stanley Tucci's angry scientist white guy reactions, because the way he was freaking out and yelling at everybody, and yes, he did deserve to get punched in the mouth just to calm down, just so he can finally come up with an idea, which caused him to put the cigarette in his mouth and talk like that old black guy mechanic.
Nah, more like the nervous white guy that's trying to come up with something crazy and shit, like Old Boy and Hackers when he had the cigarette, like, okay, guys, I think I know what we need to do. All right.
No, I think I know that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The moment he had that cigarette, he let it hang off of his lip.
But see, here's the thing. White people take a drag. Black people just keep it in there regardless of whether we're blowing it out. That's the difference. At least white people, they take it out. They take it out. You know, they'll have it hanging out, but then they'll take it out when they got something important to say. Black people, we just keep it in if we say something important.
No. See, hold on. See, but you're missing where I'm getting at. The way that he had it hanging off, that's the same way that Sam Jackson did when he was trying to get Jurassic Park back online. And what I've noticed in movies like this from the 90s and the early 2000s, anytime you got a smart guy that does that, when there's too many smart guys and that smart guy does that, he's going to die.
Yep.
We'll take the cigarette out of his mouth?
No.
The cigarette smoking scientist always dies.
No,
that's
not
the
just
thing.
In this instance, though,
not just that. It's not just cigarette smoking. I'm saying the fact that he's trying to figure out the whole thing with the cigarette literally hanging off of his mouth.
I think
it never falls.
But I think the difference in this movie is that, like, the movie was just working against him, because it's not like he did anything stupid. It was just like, oh shit, it hit a bump and the nuke lands on his leg. And I'm like, that's dumb luck. What the fuck is up with that shit?
You couldn't roll, and I get that you couldn't roll it off, but it was so bullshit to me, yeah. Because everything in that movie, including the fucking crystals that they had to deal with earlier, they bounced like they were fucking rubber in this movie, man. It was, the props weren't even
like
fucking
the deaths
good.
for Greenwood, it was like, okay, that was a shitty fucking accident, but I can see that. Even
Yeah, you can get that.
Shucky Cario was like, yeah, it was a byproduct of her bumping the crystal. All right, cool, happens. Tucci, I'm like, the shit just rolled on his leg. I'm pretty sure they can get a pipe, roll the shit off. All right. Yeah, just drag Tucci through the door. You know, hell, I would have took the fucking door, cut his leg off, and he's bleeding out or some shit. I'd be like, all right, cool, I'll take that.
I think what it is. I think what it is just that it's just.
Hey CJ, look, not everybody is Rick Grimes with a hatchet and could have chopped his leg off. All right.
Here's the thing that gets me though. Why? I think at this point, and I hate to go this route, but why, as a fucking viewer of the movie, do I want this character to live?
This is true.
I didn't want to go that route, but why do I even want Stanley Tucci to live? Because you got it. Because here's the thing. He had to be coerced into doing that shit. Because his plan was to say, fuck everybody, let's do this. And that way, basically he was running home to his money. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
He was running home to his money. So at this point, why do I want him to live? The one thing that we didn't mention is that that they needed them to stop them from doing that. They needed to stop them from implementing that plan. So they tell DJ Quarles through a weird fucking hacked message which I was looking at this shit, I was like, yo, that's so 90s. Let's hide it in a picture. That's some 90s bullshit. That is early internet bullshit right there, yo, no.
I was like, check this meme. All right, I'll check this meme on his other computer. Stall them. Okay. And it's it's funny as shit how he does. He basically cuts the power and stuff. And the general was like, oh, so the power went all right.
It was to the last second. Of course it was. It was so bad because at one point DJ was crying. I was like, see, he's acting, y'all. He's acting.
But I like how the general was like, this fucking hacker did it. He goes over there. Oh, he's playing Pong. And I'm like, dude, you could have picked Pac-Man. You picked Pong.
When he did, when he did Pong, my nephew was watching it with me, right? When he did the Pong, I turned to my nephew because you see he's a nerd. And nerds like video games, right? He like, yeah. So he's playing Pong, you see. So he's just being a nerd. He's not hacking or helping nobody. He's just being a stupid nerd. And nerds like video games.
Excuse me. Hi, DJ Sue 3 Black Geeks. How are you able to play Pong on a government computer?
He's a hacker. You remember, he basically has full autonomy. He can do anything. You got to remember.
Nigga, I'm just going to be real. It's 2003. You mean to tell me that nigga was not playing motherfucking Warcraft on that shit right there?
You mean to tell me he wasn't playing Doom?
Again, they could they could.
You wasn't playing Diablo? You mean to tell that nigga wasn't playing Diablo, nigga?
No, let me tell you something. Again, Pac-Man. Couldn't do that. Galaga? Shit. Like, why Pong? That is like the most basic ass shit ever.
You know what? Knowing this movie, they blew their budget, so they didn't pay nobody, so they had to go for original Pong.
What budget? The PlayStation 1 graphics?
Look, Chris, shut the fuck up. We got to get through this movie. If you keep on bringing up the fact that this movie is terrible.
But I will say there's a funny moment when they're doing the so Tucci stays behind with one of the bombs. Eckhart gets back and stuff. And when they start triggering and stuff, I laughed a little. Tucci has, because all throughout the movie, he's recording kind of like his memoirs and stuff of the whole journey. He's recording the memoirs, and then he stops himself like, what the hell am I doing? I'm going to die. The fuck? No.
This is going to be, like, all of this is going to be vaporized.
What am I doing? And you know what I thought the movie was going to do? Like, his recordings is in there somehow with Swank and Eckhart and something like that. Nah, nothing. It's just like, oh, well. All right, I guess he didn't pay that
get
off.
up there, or it gets fused to a rock.
It's in the course core and it winds up in Hawaii or some shit.
Yeah.
So Eckhart and them get back and they chain react the nukes and stuff, and eventually it ends up revitalizing the core. The core is spinning, and at this point, the ship doesn't have any power, and that's when Eckhart was like, "Hold up, the unobtainium ship actually absorbs energy, so we can use the heat of the core to power the ship to get us out of here. And that's what they end up doing, because all they needed to do was just, weld the power lines to the ship, and then boom, they can get to the surface and ride the wave.
He explained that. When he explained that, the only thing I saw...
oh my.
When he explained that, the only thing that was missing... The only thing that was missing was motherfucking...
I was saying, oh my, that this movie is just full of conveniences.
Yo, when he explained all that, right? All I saw was Lord Helmet off of Spaceballs looking at the camera. You got that?
Dude, that's all they did, because it's not like they did, because again, we're used to movies when they explain the jargon and all that stuff. We see it and they show the process of how they're doing it. This just felt like they just cut open wires and spliced random wires and just attached the ship and duct taped the shit. And it's like, oh, so that's how they did it. Okay.
Now, the only reason why I didn't question the romance is because it wasn't no romance. It was just, let's just be real. We just survived. So you want to fuck? Yeah.
Hey CJ, this is hey CJ, this is like this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about with this movie's logic and like their go-to convenience options. Again, throw on some Bondo and some caulk, they could have got through this.
I'm just saying.
Like car dealership guy would be like, bam, this is your car.
I just like how Eris has a greasy American flag bandana wrapped around his head, and he's over there in a tank top. Just give me some Mondo, man. I can do that in like half an hour. $75. All right, cool.
And I'm always hanging midair, like using a harness. Like I would always slide down on the harness, and I'm like, I could do that. Give me $75. You good?
Yo. So look, here's the thing. They ride basically the lava flow up through a volcano. And I just told myself, why didn't you do that in the fucking first place? Y'all probably would have hit less. Look, real talk, y'all probably would have hit less diamond. When it went through half of that shit, Bruce Greenwood would at least still be alive. I'm like, yo.
In hindsight, it makes sense. I mean, at that point, though, it's like, which volcano? Do you go for the ones in Hawaii? Do you go to the one in Seattle? Well, not Seattle.
Look,
which ones?
But look at these. Don't fucking matter.
Nah, you're right.
Like, yo, here's the thing. All right. So they fly, so they go up. Here's the problem. They get to the surface, they have no more power. And they're stuck on the bottom
they have emergency power. That's all they got.
Yeah, and they're stuck on the bottom of the ocean floor. And it was so funny because he said, "Yo, we could be 800 feet away, but it still wouldn't fucking matter. We're still too deep."
Mm-hmm. And
they still wouldn't.
And that's when they figure out, oh, well, we can use like sonar, a faint sonar, to kind of get their attention. And the sonar gets the attention of the whales, because there are there are a lot of, like most people, we obviously know whales are in the ocean, but there are a lot of whales that are in the deep parts of the ocean because they can survive down there and stuff. So it calls them attention and stuff. And the Navy, which the big thing about this movie too was that the Navy, actually all those scenes with the Navy in the waters, that's real life footage. It ain't fake. It's actually legit real. Like they actually did go out their way. And it points to what you and Eris said about how like after 9/11 there was a lot of pro-military stuff in movies. This is one of those movies they went hardcore full tilt and like, all right, if we're going to get the Navy involved, we got to go all in on this. If we're going to get all these military factions in these movies, we got to go all in or nothing. So they had the Navy ships. They had the naval ships out there and stuff, and at first they're like, well, only thing we hear is just whales. Ain't nothing there. And they're like, all right, I guess they're dead. And that's when DJ was like, hold up. Didn't they mention earlier about whale sounds? I guess that's them underwater. And then, sure as shit, they fly a helicopter there, and they're like, hey, the shuttle is right there. And they get out the water.
And I hate it. No. Here comes DJ Qualls. The whales! They're doing it with whales!
It's like, good job, DJ. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, there. Thank
You
you,
know what
man.
I was? Hold on. You know what I was waiting for him because this was 2003. I was waiting for him to just scream, "Zion, the war is over."
Zion, we are the champions, my friends. Yeah, so the movie ends. So here's the thing. And this is what had me rolling. The government decides they're not going to tell the general public about this, which I laugh. And I'm like, so sure, you're not going to tell the general public, but the general public is going to be kind of curious as why their taxes got fucking hiked up to out the fucking ass because you just spent $15 billion on this fucking thing. I'm just saying it like...
Now, real quick.
They're really gonna,
real quick.
like, they're gonna wonder. Like, they really want to know, like how this all happened. You know, how was the Earth able to be saved? Like, all those people that died, you know, they're not gonna know that their deaths meant something. Yeah, be ashamed if it got out somehow.
You know what? And I was telling, look, it was so funny. Right when they were trying to search for them underwater, I paused the movie, and at this point, all my sons, my nephew, all of them are in the room. They're watching this with me, and I said, 15 minutes. Like, yeah, Dad. Why is there still 15 minutes of this movie left? It was like, and it was so funny. It was so funny. Assad did look at me. Because they probably got to talk about how they got to get out the water, and that's probably going to take like forever, Dad. You're right, but no. Why does that need to be 15 minutes?
It's like, 15 minutes of DJ.
Why is there still 15 minutes of that? Frustrated me so much.
They yada through fucking Eckhart and her saving the world just to show DJ Qualls do a keystroke in an internet cafe and release all the information to the world.
Okay, can I talk about that? That was my...
Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
I need to talk about that because that was my favorite part of the movie. I said, yes, I got deleted scene number 2 from Hackers because this was the most unbelievable looking cyber cafe ever. I mean, you had every early 2000s image of what hipsters look like. So, dude goes in there, fresh bucket cap and everything, sunglasses, because, you know, this is suspicious looking, and decides not only am I going to connect to an open source internet connection, but I'm going to upload not a virus, but I'm just going to release the e-files to everybody. And I love that scene because I love that scene because as soon as he said, go ahead, say the line, D.
No. My kung fu is better than you.
When he said that, as soon as he said my kung fu is better, I'm like, this is the same thing I said about Seagal in our last Seagal movie. Who are you saying this for?
Who hears that? Who hears that?
And then, hold on. Not only who is hearing this, but boo, that line sucks.
I mean, yo, it falls so flat to me. And he said it through the whole movie.
Yeah, he comes. Yeah, my favorite was my kung fu is better, and also, how many languages do you speak? I speak 7 languages. Funny, I speak more languages than you, because one keystroke from me, and I'll have your entire internet history and your sexual preferences all out there for the public to see.
Oh yeah. We forgot. We also forgot.
Don't you love it when hackers? That's hackers' only threat.
You also forget too that he gave Aaron Eckhart unlimited minutes for the rest of his life on his fucking brick phone.
Because that's how it worked, Chris. Shut the fuck up.
First, hey, CJ. First of all, that was 2003. You might as well say he was living a high life at that point. Having unlimited minutes.
I don't even know what the fuck he was doing, because didn't he say he needed something from him in that scene? And I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? And then it's like, oh yeah, you got unlimited minutes for life. And I'm like, you know, at some point that's going to be useless when the fucking technology starts getting better. But, you know, whatever, core logic.
That may be, hold on, CJ. That may be useless. But would you have taken unlimited minutes on your cell phone for the next foreseeable future, or a $50 $50 gift card from Olive Garden?
Yo, it was so funny. I had to explain to my kids what a cyber cafe was. I had to. They was like, cyber cafe? Like, yeah, that's where they had a whole bunch of computers that was linked up to the internet. And all of them, they were like, so like a library? Like, yeah, actually, yeah.
You know what it is? You know what that is? That's the equivalent of, it's literally like, because even now, we don't have cyber cafes anymore. We don't have like cyber cafes anymore. It's like you either just take your laptop in a Starbucks or you go to one of those business.
That's what it's called. It's called Starbucks.
Yeah,
and
Starbucks,
if you got a good Starbucks around you, they have live entertainment. So
and Eris might know this too. You know those places where you can work in like a kind of, you can rent like a cubicle for yourself if you're working from home kind of deal, but you need someplace quiet to go to.
Yeah, I know about those places.
Yeah, they got them all around DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I didn't know about it till like last year. It's basically equivalent of those. Same thing, same process. You just go in there, get a little cubicle, free Wi-Fi, and all you gotta do is just sign up for it, and that's it.
Oh, and by the way, they still exist. Cyber cafes. They might exist in small capacities in America, but you go to any part of Asia, oh, they're super hopping over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny to me how cyber cafes have evolved, because those were the places where it's like you go there, if you didn't have a computer at home, they were running on T1 lines in those cafes.
Yeah, T1 lines that was used to look up Sailor Moon stuff.
AKA our library, essentially.
That was a line of dialogue that was expressed in this movie.
Yeah, it was. That kind of, like, I felt attacked. Really. I really did, actually. I'm sorry. Fuck you.
The audacity, the deceit.
But here's this. But I am downloading fucking anime, nigga. So fuck you.
Can we really be upset about that? I mean, come on. All of us at some point in our time went to the library and would download horribly pixelated, full screen size JPEGs of Dragon Ball pictures.
This is very much true. I mean, yeah. I mean,
and you don't know who the fuck I am. You don't know who the fuck I am, nigga.
Hey, CJ, you want to know something? I still have them in a binder.
Yeah, I can just go back in the Wayback Machine and just do it that way. You too old school for me, man. I'm good.
I'm not too old school. I just never got rid of them.
Hey, you're along the lines of people that still have their fucking binders full of Marvel cards. I'm like, you guys are nuts.
I just never got rid of them. They sat in storage for all these years, and then one day when I cleaned out storage, I was like, oh my God. The Holy Grail.
Like, you think my black ass keeping all them binders full of Marvel cards? Nah, them shits either burned or I just gave them away. I didn't give a shit. I was like, nope, I'm good. Yep, don't need them. Sometimes you gotta let it go. But yeah, that's the...
Yo. So, you know what's the funny thing about this? This movie didn't really get crushed by anybody. No, it was like... I mean, I wouldn't say get crushed, but it didn't have a chance.
There's a butt to this,
because the
D told me about the
movies that came
butt.
out after it were big.
How do you go from number one to number 6?
Look. 2 weeks after this movie came out, Anger Management came out. See ya.
Actually, I was actually going to go to the following week, actually, because you said 3 of the movies that came out: Phone Booth, A Man Apart, and What a Girl Wants.
Yo, those 3 alone, yeah, bodied it.
But also, too, there were 2 other movies that bodied it, and they were on their 3rd and 4th week, respectively. Head of State, and that horrible, cringy movie, Bringing Down the House.
I don't think it's bad. It's cringy, but I don't think it's horrible, though.
It's cringy, and you let Bringing Down the House murder you.
Yo, bringing down the house is what made Queen Latifah a star. White people said, hey, she's actually kind.
You know, it's a shame they didn't watch Living Single. That's a shame. That is a shame, but, you know, that's another story for another day, to be honest.
Look, Queen Latifah, we actually respect her. She is such a lovely black woman. You remember when she was so mean? I remember she was so mean in the 90s. She said, who you're calling a bitch? And I was like, wow.
Can I be real?
Oh, that's just rude, you know?
D is joking, but there probably were a lot of white people like, she's just so angry because she says, who you calling a bitch? I'm like, but... God, you and I.
Did
you listen to the other songs, "Ladies First"? That was pretty, you know, positive. She wasn't angry.
I joke with a couple. I joke with a couple people when it comes to Hollywood, basically being safe around certain black people, and I hate that Queen Latifah had to go through that.
I hate Ice Cube had to go through that, but that was probably purposely by Ice Cube, to be honest.
Yeah, that was purposely by Ice Cube. But the same thing with Queen. Queen wanted to do the same thing.
That's what wowed me. It's just like Living Single. She was a very nice character, just wholesome, and it's like, wow, people are still scared of her. Damn, like fuck.
White people, no, because again, safe. It's safe for white people to like. How's that still a thing? That's still a fucking thing to this.
It's weird, man.
You know,
it's like
I say that because motherfucking mediocre as fuck albums, even though I do like a couple of the shit. Chance the Rapper is very safe around white people.
Chance is what we like to call the Cory Booker of rappers. He is cornball as shit, but I don't mind it. I personally don't mind it.
It's like this, but here's the thing. There, like I said, some people just find those guys, they like them. That's always going to be.
I like them. It's just a lot of people take it a step further and be like, this cornball motherfucker, he ain't black enough. I'm like, guys, puppy break. He can be cornball and black.
I mean, but that's what they do. Like, I go on Eve because I'm like, yo, they airbrush your motherfucking paw prints off your titties, man. Like, yo, they just they took the nose ring out.
Meanwhile, me being the stand of Eve that I am, I'm like, make your money, queen.
Make your money. And she gets so white as a white man. Here's Chris. Okay.
nah, dude. See,
it's like this. Like, oh my god. Okay. You like her? I mean, I like her in principle now.
See me, D. That's almost ashy. Me, I'm weebay shrugging like what you like. Okay, cool.
No. I think the worst are the niggas that obsess over dark skin Little Kim, because it's like, yo, dog, that's in the past, yo.
Hey, I feel called out by this, G. I feel called out.
To me, that's like, yo, you remember back in the day, man, them days is over.
I feel called out right now when you said
that.
It's a
white woman now. I'm sorry, yo. I understand, man. You missed that. I understand.
I miss. Wait a minute. Little Kim. That was the last time.
You like that version of it?
That was when we had Little Kim, where she was believing in her dark skin. She was at the borderline of like, all right, she got the boob job. She was looking fine.
I never liked Little Kim. I'll be honest with you. I never liked Little Kim. I really did, because I didn't like I didn't at the time. I didn't like a woman that rapped all like this, and then when they talk like, oh hi, it's like, bitch, where the voice go? That bothered me a lot.
This is a good segue though. Real quick, Hilary Swank. Funny enough, she was always cute to me, and I think Boys Don't Cry fucked me up a little bit. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. It is not her fault.
Like, I can't jerk off to this.
It is not her fault. It's just she played a very convincing guy. It threw me the fuck off. I was like, whoa.
That whole movie is wild. I will never talk about it.
I seen it one time. I was like, that is a heartbreaking movie. I do not want to watch it again.
We're good. We are fucking good.
That is a one and done movie for me, because the movie's good. It's just a one and done. I can't do this. Nope.
D, what do you think about that movie? It's a movie. It's a movie. And a thing happened. It's very big. And it's a movie. And also, it's a movie starring Hilary Swank.
And it's not even like, and the thing of it is, it's not even Oscar bait. Put it this way. It's Oscar bait, but not Oscar bait.
That makes sense. You know what? Look. No, it was. Girl that wants to be a boy. Fucking bigots everywhere. A very traumatic scene that happens where the person dies. That's Oscar gold if I ain't fucking seen
And
it.
also, it fucks me up also, too, on top of that, is the fact that I was used to the 80s movies that did that shit. Was it just one of the guys? They did it in that, like, wacky comedy. She's a girl that wants to be a guy because she wants to know what guys think. And it threw me off completely.
It takes a whole new meaning when you actually put real life elements into shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's nothing against Hilary Swank. It was just like, it threw me off completely when she did that. And it's like, fuck, man, can she recover from that? And I was like, I don't think she has recovered.
Here's the thing. Hilary Swank, to me, has had a career.
Oh, yeah, she has a career.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
She hit the indie movie trail. Bruce
Greenwood has been enjoying his BC status. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's been enjoying that.
He became Batman and was like, I don't want to look back. I'm Batman. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm great.
He's been Batman a couple of few times. Got Delroy Lindo, who is still acting. He's still character acting. Stanley Tucci, at that point, is still character acting. I don't know the last thing Aaron Eckhart been in. I do not know the last thing he was.
Back up, when we're talking to Hilary Swank, she was in The Hunt. And you know what? I retract my statement. She was looking fine in The Hunt. So you know what? I retract my statement. I completely forgot she was in that movie. You know what? I retract that.
I do have a thing for Hillary, but I'm not a...
She went... God, it sounds fucked up saying it, but like she went like full-blown Karen in that movie, and it was great.
How's that fucked up? You just called it... Were you being funny? Try to say, oh my God, I can't believe I'm using the word Karen.
I'm being funny, but like she really went full-blown Karen in The Hunt, and it was actually pretty funny. So yeah.
But yeah, so you know.
Aaron Eckhart, he just does stuff, but like after he like you know DJ Sue said, you know, he's like, where is she?
He was in a couple other things. I know he was in Date for Smoking, and he was in something else too. Oh God, but yeah. So you know, this movie,
doing great. You know? That's all that matters.
Yeah. Everybody does a stupid movie.
Yeah, but
Alfred Whitter is still doing character acting as usual. It's fine. Nobody got hurt from this.
Funny enough, I mean, Aaron Eckhart is like, he's done some bad movies. Frankenstein. I'm like, man, he still got a career. That shit did not kill him.
Watch that shit. I know it's on Netflix. I still gotta watch that. But anyway, so as we proceed, we go on to our next movie, which is a comedy, and there's going to be a lot of laughs because it's one of our favorite movies. I think it's the 25th anniversary of that movie, and that is Tommy Boy. We finally get to do Tommy. And you know, it's the 25th anniversary, and on top of that, unfortunately, you know, Brian Dennehy passed away not too long.
The Dennehy man, the Dennehy.
Yep. And then I don't think, have we had any David Spade movie yet? Have we talked about David Spade in any of our movies yet? I don't think we have. So I think this is really our first David Spade and Chris Farley movie, man.
D, hold on, wait a minute. Did we do Senseless?
No, we didn't.
No, we did not.
Okay, then this is our first one.
You know what? This is one of those instances where in my head I thought we did Coneheads and we didn't do Coneheads. I don't know why the fuck I thought we did it.
If you look at the list that I already showed you guys, if you want a 3 Black Geeks site on the Facebook page, you'll see that too. The Coneheads threatened to get it on there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. It did. I was thinking about putting Coneheads on there. I was thinking about it, but I was like, no. So then we might do Coneheads one day. I can't say we won't, but you know, whatever. I really want to do this because I cannot wait to hear Eris repeat that famous, that beautiful line from fucking Dan Aykroyd. Come on, you seen Doctari? God damn.
But also, I think
what did this thing hold over about the
I feel the Rona has made us to where we're gonna have a very summer podcast. It's gonna be great. You know, notwithstanding because amidst the chaos of people saying "fuck you," I see some Blue Angels in the air. We're just gonna laugh our ass off in the comforts of our own movies.
Yo, what the fuck?
That's what you know. That's what was missing at the end of the core. Blue Angels flying as they save the fucking ship from underneath the water.
You know, they squirting out red, white, and blue from their fucking tailpipe. America. Might as well just show a big fucking penis. Golly.
It's like Gorbachev was all pissed off that the Russians weren't the ones to save the world.
I can't believe this. You know, look, here's the thing. Look, going into Tommy Boy will be a breath of fresh air because we get a lot of people talking. A lot of people laughing on that one because that movie is very special to me too. So it's, you know, that's going to be fun. So anyway, we see y'all next week.
Laters.